Cause
we wake you up in the morning,
work with you all day, keep you company all night. We are
Invicta 98.9 FM.
Perceptions could change. Opinions can be formed with more and accurate information. Get all sides, views, and opinions on topical issues. Have your say on Perspectives. With Twin Alabi at 9 a.m. Mondays to Fridays on Invicta 98.9 FM. Perspectives. All sides, all views, all individuals are welcome.
Good morning and welcome to Perspectives. We started the program a little late this morning. Reasons beyond our control. But here we are. The show must go on. And so we are with Perspectives this morning. And what we're looking at this morning is all in the public domain now. And that's about the midterm report or report card of this administration. 2019, it came on board, and we're running 2 years of it now. And so, has it been with Nigerians, and what would Nigerians have to say about how the nation is being run today? And we'll be looking at that, and also be taking a peep into the Senate public hearing on the Constitution. That's again one of the things we'll be looking at this morning, the Constitution review. A lot of people, Nigerians, are talking about going into the Constitution and looking at it, its pitfalls, and of course what we can take into it. But again, from what we're getting, it's not going right with us. And so some people say, let's look at the 1999 Constitution as was given to Nigerians and make some changes, and of course what we can hold from it. So these are issues. They're all in public domain now for us to look at. As Nigerians going today, we all know that things are just not right. And of course, the center may not hold as it is today. And Nigerians are talking about we have a nation at the brink. And so what do we do? For some people, let's go separate ways. But for some people, and I'm sure, maybe not speaking for the majority, people would say, let's keep Nigeria and let's do what we have to do about, keeping Nigeria as one nation. But matters arising from the nation today says differently. And so these are issues to look at today. Midterm report card of this administration in its second year running. We're talking from 2019 to what we have now. And of course, look at the Senate public hearing now. And to do that with me this morning, I have is our in-house analyst, political analyst. He is well seated on political matters, and of course that's his calling too. My colleague here in the house, Angubali, will be doing all of that for me this morning. Angubali, good morning and glad to have you around.
Thank you, Tony, for having me.
Okay, yeah, midterm report. I don't know. I'm not going to prop you into taking a position here, but unbiased mind into what the midterm report of this administration would be, looking at 2019 till date. For you, how has it come? Just take an overview before we begin to look at issues on it.
Well, they say charity begins at home. So for the purpose of today's discussion, I would like to start it from Kaduna, where we are domiciled. So looking at the report card the midterm report card of this government, the government of Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai as a governor of Kaduna State from 2019 to May 29, 2021. Of course, making it 2 years midterm, so to say, and we'll be looking ahead to 2023, making it a complete 4 years of his own second term. The 1999 started, or it laid its emphasis on the urban renewal, and most especially Kaduna, you have three cities: Kaduna City, Zaria City, and Kafachan City. And I would say have been parcel of those who gave out a report on the implementation of the Kaduna Urban Renewal Project. And I must say, as a person, I will not hesitate to give El-Rufai a pass mark on the urban renewal. He has been doing well. Talking about Kaduna City itself, you could see, do I have to mention? Of course, I have to mention to be able to lay credence to what I'm giving a pass mark on. The former Wharf Road, now Buhari Way, is stretched down to Angwaremi. You have the Ariwa House Junction. A new road is attached from the Ariwa Junction, which will pass across from Angwankanawa to cross to Western Bypass Nnamdi Azikiwe until link to the train station, which will make it easier for people within the town or whatever. You move across to the station to catch a train. You don't have to take a 360 degrees from Kao. You run around to Nnamdi Azikiwe to Rigasa, before you find your way. Traffic. And of course, that road too linked to the Millennium City. And it cut across down to the Eastern Bypass. If you go to that Eastern, that's the Millennium City, to the Eastern Bypass, a huge lot of work is ongoing there. You see a lot of housing development, housing project ongoing there. Then you come across again from the Police College roundabout, which a new road is being connected. The fifth River Kaduna Bridge will cut across to Banawa, that's Aliu Makama Road, and work is going on very well to an appreciable level. The bridge, I've gone there many times. I've observed that work and I've given a report appropriately. Coming up here from Sabon Tesha overhead bridge, that's the overhead bridge. That road is being dualized to stretch across to Television Garage, move to Pijot, that's the Pan line. It will link up with Abuja Junction. So that work too has commenced. Not to mention from Banawa Prison Staff College, that road, which is linking up again to the station roundabout. So work is going there too. At the Yakowa Way, you have a linkage from the Yakowa to the Millennium City, which a link road there. I think that road has gone up an appreciable percentage. So the governor is doing well in that aspect. If you go to Kafachan, the flag up took place with me in reporting it. A good number of how many kilometers? Is it 18 kilometer roads? The one that's been dualized from the Nepal roundabout down to Angwaremi, then and some other roads being expanded within the town. It's doing well too. Even though Zaria, I've not been able to have opportunity to go to Zaria, but from report that I've been monitoring, a substantial aspect of the Zaria city. Of course, Zaria is a city. It has a development has been going on there even before the urban renewal, was incorporated. So it's a plus there too. However, I equally want to make a point. I had yesterday during the discussion, the guest who was here, he was trying to justify the urban renewal by equally, feeding people with wrong information. that for the past how many years?
That was his opinion.
Dispensation.
Let's say that
that
your opinion is what we're getting here.
Not a kilometer of road has been added to Kaduna Central. Now, you see that the Akwa Way, which I said this government is connecting a link road to the Millennium City. The Akwa Way, the Akwa Road, which equally added the 4th River Kaduna Bridge, or is it the 5th? No, the 4th. You know, it came up in the last dispensation before this government took over in 2015. The road stretched from Angwarimi to the refinery junction. In 1999, I know very well that the roads from Sabontesha to the refinery junction and to Marabarido, it was in bad shape, and it was the previous government that fixed that road very well. I equally know too that you know, a good substantial number of roads were fixed up during the previous government. So this government is coming and is adding on to it. So it's a continuation of this government. For the fact that we want to praise this government doesn't mean that, you know, we would try to condemn previous government that they didn't do anything. No, the roads that were added or that were brought on ground in the previous government, they are on ground to see, for us to see them very well. And from the Kakao Junction and connecting Goningwara, which we refer to the Eastern Bypass that connects to the Gachukun, is the previous government that brought that road from 1999. And this government, the government of Buhari, that's the federal government job, which the government of Buhari, you know, is carrying on as a continuation. So you've had a good number of roads brought in by the previous government, and this government too is adding into it as a continuation. So in as much as I give pass mark to this government, I equally said they made things on ground to add to it.
Yeah, okay, good. You know, much of the time was, you know, on structures that we've seen. You're talking about structures that this administration has. You're giving it a pass mark. Oh, so, but again, let's talk about, you know, the people. This administration came and it said to the people that it's a people's government. And that's what Malam said, that this...
With the motto, putting people first.
Putting people first, yes. So it's a people's government. But again, from what we're seeing, and we're talking about matters arising now, how well would you say the people have fared in terms of, you know, living, and in terms of, you know, what will come to them as the gains, you know, to say of what has happened to them? This government again said that with the structures that he's talking about and what it wants to do for the people of Kaduna State, there will be pains too. So we have gains and we have pains. But again, for people's assessment on what has happened to them, how well would you rate this administration?
In my own opinion, and the way I've seen it and some that I've reported, it's kind of a mixed bag of feeling or mixed reaction. Those who are in this government, they see it, everything is going well. Even though there are a substantial number of people who are in this government and they are not finding it funny. And if you follow some of the...
I don't get, they're not finding it funny, but funny, that's in this government.
That's where I'm going, yeah. If you follow some of these radio Hausa political programs, you know, you hear a lot of reactions. They said, yeah, this is our government, we support this government, but we feel that, you know, the government should handle things with human face. That is, they're talking about a lot of markets have been demolished. And of course, to me, it's part of the reform the governor has brought about. However, some feel it's not being handled with human face in the sense that, for example, this banana market that's being rebuilt to a modern standard. Those who own the shop up initial, now before the shops were taken or the market was demolished for a new structure to be brought on ground, they are of the view, or they have this fear that after rebuilding the market into a modern structure, they will not be able to partake in it, or they will not be able to own shop, in the sense that the amount that will be offered, it will be above their, it will be above their own taking. They will not be able to afford the kind of money that the modern shops will be offered. So, and the bourgeois or the capitalists, those who have money, they will be the one to take them over, and the common man is left, outside the loop. So, and these are the things. It's not only you can mention a lot of them, a lot of shops that have been demolished, new ones built. If you go and make example of how much the shops are going for, is not small money. So the common man, they cannot afford them again. So talking about equally to the common man, there are reforms in education. School fees have been hiked from 26,000 to a minimum of 120 to 150 and to 500,000, depending on what course somebody is offering at the state university. Equally to at the polytechnic and the colleges of education and the colleges of nursing in Kaduna, we have in Kaduna. So the common man feel that these things, education is now above their own level.
When you talk about
there's a signboard that which the Governor El-Rufai before 2019, it was so high at the Leventis roundabout. Yes, that it went in Hausa.
Yes,
dole ne dan talaka ya samu ingantacce ilimi. That it is a must for the son of, if I try to interpret it literally in English, it is a must for the son of a poor person to get, essential prerequisite education. Qualitative education.
Yes.
So now, if you have raised the school fee of the state-owned university from 26,000, like some say, they said for the past 4 years, which they started and graduated, the current school fee that has been asked for students to pay for a term is what they pay for the whole 5 years, for the whole 4 years within which they started and graduated. So if you are doing that, so what will happen to the son of a poor person? So they are saying that this reform should be done with a human face.
Okay.
And of course, you talk about retrenchment. Now, school fees have been hiked more than 100%, and you are sacking workers. The parent that used to work, he got salary and pay for the 26,000 for his own son, child, or what, as a guardian. Now you have sacked him. He's no more working. So where will he get the money to pay the school fee that you have increased 100%? So the government should look into it. And of course, this brings into the issue the Kaduna State government has with labor. Now, the labor, in my own understanding, as I cover that the 5-day warning strike, which was cut short to 3 days, their own grounds to the government is that government did not follow due process in the retrenchment of the workers. And some of the workers who have been retrenched from 2017, a lot of them have not been able to receive their entitlement from that 2017 up to now. So if you are adding with another large number, the last time was 7,700. If from 2017 they have not been able to receive their entitlement, so what would the current number of staff that have been sacked, what would they say? So the government should look into it. The labor grounds is that once you are sacking somebody, The moment you are giving him his sack letter with the left hand, the right hand will give him his check for his own entitlement, so that he will go and fend for himself. So these are the issue, and they are saying the government should handle this reform with human face.
The program is Perspectives, and we're looking at scorecard of this administration, and from 2019 till date, 2 years running with the second term of our second tenure of this government. And so, for you out there, what would be your scorecard on this administration? My colleague, in-house political analyst Angubali, giving us his own viewpoint on what the scorecard for this administration from 2019 till date, and that's talking about May 29th, so to say, would be. We'll come back. So much to talk about. We're looking at it at state level, and of course, we'll translate this to a national level. But we're staying with our state and what's coming out from the state. Perspectives this morning. We're going for a commercial break. Be back with you shortly. Welcome back. Is the program Perspectives this morning, and looking at the midterm report card of this administration. Well, this is 29th May, would make it 2 years into the second term or tenure of this administration. And so we're looking at how far it has come. What would be your own scorecard or scorecard report, so to say, on this administration? My colleague, our in-house political analyst, Angubali, taking it from his own perspectives. You have yours too. So when we have our lines opened, let's hear you too on that. Ango, again, let me come back to the governor of the state, who had talked about for citizens of the state. One of the issues coming out is on taxation, and people complain about being taxed in all forms, all ways. And this is about internal generated revenue that we're having, and so this administration is so much high on making internal revenue generation to take a very prominent role as to how it would handle matters of the state. And don't forget again that the governor had said that what is coming out from the federation account can only take care of some aspects of government, but it cannot, if it wants to move forward, it cannot in any way take care of what government plans for the state. Now, we're talking about a government who's, putting a modern touch to Kaduna State as it is. For some of us, who've been here and been seeing things going around, more than any other time, this administration has come with, to give the state a facelift, so to say. And we're seeing it, we're really seeing it. But on taxation, and the governor coming out to say that Nigeria may just be seen as the least taxed nation of the world. And this may not be acceptable if it wants to, take care of its citizens and take care of, infrastructure and all of that. On taxation, what's the scorecard here?
Yeah, on taxation, this government has introduced the development levy, which is sort of like dust off the laws of in the past. I think 1970 something. I cannot quote precisely, which was in the tune of is it 100 naira or something like that, or 10 naira, something like that, which it has now raised to the power of 1,000 naira. And to me, nothing is wrong in taxation. The developed countries or nations are where they are and what they are today because of taxation. But the grouse that the Nigerian public or the common man has always had a government on taxation is for them to see what they are giving out to government or the tax they are paying is it can be justified if government is using it judiciously. Now, of course, government has been complaining about issue of money, the drilling down of returns from petrol, sales of petrol. The price has gone down, unlike what was obtainable in the previous government. But they equally agree with me too that this government has had a lot of money, either in form of loan. This government break the record of taking $350 million loan. You remember when this government, when the El-Rufai government was campaigning in 2014, 2015, it took a swipe on previous government for having done bad with the kind of loan they collected. The last record was $280 something million, which even the government of Sardauna was indicted, and some people raised hue that how dare somebody indict the Sardauna who has done a lot. But this government came and surpassed the record of how many years loan of $280 something million taken, which even calculated and put on the head of everybody that every citizen of Kaduna was was to pay 15,000 naira, the loan that was being owed from previous government to 2015. Now the government came and broke the record by taking a loan of $350 million. So it has money to work on in the urban renewal, all the reform that has been going on. So even some feel that this 1,000 naira development levy that has been taxed is not justifiable because there's money on ground. You get loan to use it in carrying out the development.
We do know about the conditionalities, attached to loans, especially World Bank loan.
Yes,
these are not free, money.
Yeah, of course. It equally raised the issue of this loan is going to be paid by all Kaduna people, but it is some people said why centering on three urban areas, that is Kaduna urban city, the Zaria urban city, and Kafanchan urban city. Meanwhile, people in other rural areas are going to pay this money. So why is concentrating the money in these three cities alone? So it's supposed to be felt all over. That is, rural development is supposed to be incorporated under this loan, since the people are going to pay it.
You just introduced another issue here, and that's talking about the local government. How functional has the local government be? We're talking about scorecard now. With this 2 years running of this administration, local government and its functions, and because they are grassroots and close to the people, how would you rate local government? In
theory, when you hear the people talk, they will say that this government, when it came on board, it has given local government autonomy. It has allowed them to spend their money, without any interference. But in private and in practical, they are complaining that you have so many deductions. For example, in some local government where there are crises, we have crisis levy that has been deducted from their money. And some are saying that it's not justifiable. For example, in Kaduna, where you have, crisis here and there, and if you say crisis, you have banditry, attacks here and there. So if the federal government decide that they are going to deduct the money to fund this crisis, how would the government feel? Would they feel fine? So if the government will not feel fine, why are you doing it to the local governments? Any local government where crisis is happening, either attacks, money is deducted from their account. So this is part of from the sideline. The people are complaining. They cannot come out to talk, because they say if they talk, they'll have some either some punishment by the state government. So they have to murmur by the side. But in theory, they'll come out to press government that there's financial autonomy. Their money is left untouched. They are left to. However, of course, there are some local government you could see some evidence very well. I can give example like in Kagarko local government. The man started with that responsibility there, the local government chairman, Honorable Rabo Nasara. The guy has been doing well. In fact, his performance, he is currently undertaking over 40-something kilometer road construction, bridges, school renovation, electrification, and all that. That one I can say. And it even earned him an award, National Productivity Award at the national level. So I can say that one. Some local government, they are doing well. And of course, apart from the urban renewal, I can equally attest to my previous discussion with the Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs. He said that every local government, there is 10-kilometer road being constructed. However, that one we are waiting. He said he will arrange for a day where he will take us. We'll go around to see these kilometers of roads. So we've had it, And what informed that for me to make that to raise that issue was in the 2021 budget, over 900 and something million naira has been allocated for feeder roads. So when I took him on that, he now explained this out that in every local government, a stretch of 10 kilometers is being incorporated, is being worked out.
Let me quickly, because...
so if you can calculate that, 10 kilometers times 23. So over 30 something kilometer, 300 something, kilometer roads and stuff. So you could see if we are able to see those roads and attest to them, then we will say that this government is not only limited itself at the urban area, but even at the rural areas too. It's being touched.
Let me quickly, before I get my lines opened, on representatives of the people, I'm talking about, the state assembly, and particularly where, people are representing, people who have been elected to represent the people, take the yearnings of the people into consideration, bring governance close to them and all of that. When you talk about, elected representatives of the people at the state assemblies, what's the scorecard for you?
Well, for the, I'm smiling. I'm smiling in the sense that, to me, in my own opinion, the representative at the state level have not been living up to their bill. In the sense that, if you look at the retrenchment that's been going on, the sacking of that has been going on, and all that, you've never hear any whimper from the members of the House of Assembly.
Why?
Why? Of course. Don't you know the politics are going on in the House of Assembly?
No, I don't know. I need explanation here.
The politics of
why? I just told you earlier, and I just asked the question. That these are representatives of the people.
For example, like in the previous this previous House of Assembly, 2 members were suspended, and they could not return to the assembly until the assembly was over. Even when their entitlement too were not given to them. In fact, one even died, the one that was adjudged to be the brain box of the House of Assembly. That's Honorable Dr. Bitiong, the member who represented Kawara State Constituency. The man even died out of frustration. They could not get, even when they went to the Court of Appeal, and the court gave them the verdict that they should be given their entitlement, having been suspended, and they were not returned until the end of the assembly. And the court gave them verdict. They would not give this. Now, this dispensation again, they have been moved to impeach and counter-impeach of the the speaker. Some were suspended, and up to now, previous of recent, their suspension were reviewed and extended for another 12 months. So, if you say anything that those in leadership feel is not doesn't sound sweet to their ears, you'll be suspended, and that suspension will be indefinitely. So that could be the reason why they are being careful. But the issues that, like Dino said, you talk, you die. You keep quiet, you die. So why don't you talk the truth, you die. You don't talk the truth, you die. So why don't you are elected to represent the people. Why are you representative? So why don't you come out and say their mind? And from there, you'll be able to have a reform, leadership.
Okay.
Let's have a light that's going on. And the people feel they are being, and that's why in the Constitution Review Committee, a lot of people are talking about this Constitution itself. It should be discarded for a new one, where some are calling for the return of 1963 Constitution, which was federalist in nature. Some are calling for national dialogue. Let's sit down. A lot of things that are happening, we can't bury our head in the sand like the ostrich and pretend that nothing is happening. Let's come together, sit down and dialogue. How can Nigeria continue? Some said Nigeria unity is unnegotiable, non-negotiable. Some said it's negotiable. If we must be together, let's sit down and have terms on how we must be together.
Okay.
And I think
let's go to here,
right.
1 or 2 calls on 081 40,000 989, 081 40,000 989, or 070 87 800 989. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sir. Yes.
Yes.
I was thinking he has made a very analysis this morning, and I was thinking he will talk about the future as well. You see, let's come in that issue of insecurity in the past. But today, what I will see is
Emmanuel, we're having problems with your line. Sorry, we're not getting you.
Give me a call back.
Yeah, call back.
Hello, Alavi.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. I'm Job International.
Yes, Job, let's hear you.
Yeah, I want to welcome your guest. He has spoken well, but he spoke more of political party man than analyst. Let me come to the government scorecard of Nigeria. The truth of the matter
wait, Job. I'm sure you know. We'll stay with the state. You know,
of the state.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, all right.
Yes, we cannot remove the fact that there are some roads that have been done. But the issue and the primary objective of the protect the life and property of Nigerians, to protect life and property. So insecurity everywhere, kidnapping everywhere in Kaduna, blood flushing, and we cannot come and talk of development without security. No investment. That's why we are in a very difficult situation in Kaduna. So there is nothing like a government has tried, because insecurity. No school, adding school fees, taxation, Castelia, disturbing everybody. Now, if you are in Kaduna today, you cannot go out without those things. So we are not free in this Kaduna. So the government, if you put the scorecard, I can put 1% out of 100. They have scored them 1 over 100. Thank you.
Joe, that's Joe. One more. And, hello, good morning.
Are you hearing me now?
Yeah, okay. Emmanuel. Okay.
Yeah, I think Ango Valley has done very good analysis this morning. Yes. He did not talk about insecurity, which they promised us that in few months, since of the past, that in a daily basis in Israel, I stand to be corrected, it's getting worse by the day. Please, they should sit up to their responsibility. Because for me, if I should say on that, I support them to go. They have done so much. Then concerning the infrastructure that is happening in Kaduna, yes, I'm not against infrastructure. But if infrastructure is taking place, there should be a woman feeling. If you demolish one to put a good standard there, I think there should be a provision, a plan B for those people that you are building it for, not building it for the elite. Now, your guest yesterday was saying something that in Mutala Square there is a mall that was used. When I go to that mall, it has been sold to politicians. No common man that can afford to pay that amount of that place that he's talking about. So if you are doing it for the masses, do it for the masses. Let's know that you are doing it for the masses, not for the same elite. The elite to go and buy, then give it to the masses if those that are capable to pay. So I don't say anything that is for the masses here. Now look at almost all the markets, and which one among them can they point out at their views that the common man should be here for the time being, while we do the other? You are putting more pain in injury. So if he's doing his development whatsoever, let him have woman feeling.
Okay.
I believe nobody will see him if you do all those things and the people are not there. Now concerning education, finally.
Okay.
Education is for the common man now.
Wow, your line is
sorry, your line again. Ango Valley, this conversation will have to continue.
Yeah, I deliberately could not make assessment in terms of issue of security because anytime insecurity comes up, the government at the state level, they try to play a defensive excuse. They say security is being controlled by the federal government, and so they cannot do anything. And that's why I mentioned something, and I said the same thing at the local government too, where the government is taxing security money levy in local government where security, there's breach of insecurity. The government cannot justify that. But this government, before 2019, it said it acquired closed-circuit cameras to be able to monitor, insecurity at the center, at the city level. But insecurity kept worsening, even at the center level. No day pass by, you will not hear about kidnapping. So this aspect, I wouldn't want to say anything. But again, the government, despite the fact that they say security is being controlled by the federal government, they keep collecting security votes. And they've not been able to, they don't account for that security vote. Instead of them to say now security is being controlled by the federal government. Now security vote too, you are collecting it. What are you doing with the security vote? Justify it. So these are the issues. You could see the government talking with two sides of the mouth. They will say this, when you confront them on this aspect to defend it, they will now dodge to the other side. They say security is being controlled by the federal government. They don't have any, and that's even part of the reason why they at the constitution hearing, public hearing, some of the view that state police should not be allowed, which state police is what Governor Erufai has been advocating. They are saying that with the experience of the native authorities in the past, in the north and in the south, in the west, which led to Operation Waiti, led to the bringing down of the First Republic. So if you bring native authority, it will work. And some are giving an example that with the protests that happened with the NL label, which talks were unleashed on the people, if state police were on ground, what will happen? Would label conduct that protest?
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
So it is a dangerous thing.
Angubali, this discussion will just not end here. We'll have to, extend it, and that's to extend my invitation to you that within the week we must come back again. So many issues to look at when we're talking about scorecard report on this administration, 2 years running now in its second term. And so thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
All right.
Anytime.
Yeah. And we're just looking at midterm report card of this administration, 2 years running on its second term, and there's so much that's coming out of it. We'll still extend this, and within the week we can come back with it. And Angubali, our in-house political analyst, would be invited, would be over again to talk about some of the things, matters arising in this 2 years running on this second term of this administration. I'd like to thank Job too for connecting us with the people this morning. Wisdom, thank you for putting us in the pictures. Perspectives this morning. Good morning.